Today on America's Court with Judge Ross.
Did she tell you don't touch the thermostat?
She didn't mention that, yeah.
Did you touch the thermostat?
I did.
She told you do not touch the thermostat.
Correct.
In my courtroom, it's about equity and fairness. Stop. Is that true? I don't want you to understand. I want you to overstand.
Yes, sir.
That's why they pay me the big bucks. Justice should be more than just some foreign concept. I actually want you to learn something. That's not gonna happen. Not up in here, not today. And boom goes the dynamite.
Fair, firm, compassionate. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Henrietta Coles claims she let her daughter's boyfriend move in with them and says he disrespected the house rules and ran up a huge electric bill. Ms. Coles is suing Daniel Harvey in the amount of $901.23.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated.
All parties have been sworn, Your Honor.
Clerk to Deputy Thomas. So, Ms. Coles, you called yourself doing Mr. Harvey a favor by allowing him to stay with you.
That's correct, Your Honor.
And things didn't go quite as planned, so now you're suing for $901.23.
Yes.
What's going on here?
So what's going on here is Daniel dated my daughter through high school.
What's your daughter's name?
Khadijah.
Khadijah.
Yes, sir.
And how long did they date?
They had about a 2.5-year relationship.
Okay.
From high school into college.
Okay. And did you approve of the relationship between the two of them?
Yes, I did. Actually, they had similar goals to go off to college and pursue things and do things with their lives
and
as young adults.
And after high school, Khadijah went on to college?
Yes, sir. She attended college and is still attending here in our state.
All right.
And Daniel went away out of state.
You went out of state?
Correct.
You wanted to get away?
Yeah.
And how'd that work out for you?
Not very well. I didn't do too well in
what happened?
In college. Just trouble applying myself, basically.
Being focused and disciplined?
Yeah, basically.
What are you doing right now?
Right now I'm just working at a grocery store.
And why are you working at a grocery store?
Get money, help out with bills and stuff like that.
Okay. You're not staying with Miss Coles, though, anymore.
Not any longer, no.
Where are you at now?
Now I'm back at my parents' house.
You said back at your parents'.
Correct.
So when you finished high school, you left the parents, you went out of state, it didn't work out. Why didn't you go back to your parents initially?
They were not happy that college didn't work out for me and did not want me back under any circumstances.
But Miss Coles said you can stay with me.
Yes, she did.
Did you ask her or did Khadijah ask?
Khadijah asked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, where would you have ended up?
Honestly, I was out of options. I did not know where I would have ended up, taking it day by day.
So Miss Coles saved you?
She did.
Okay. Did you tell Miss Coles, I know that I'm a diamond in the rough potentially, and I just need you to work with me a little bit?
Yes, and I really thought it would work out and I'd be able to follow her rules and everything.
What rules did you set that he was not complying with?
Pretty basic rules when you're moving into anyone's home, Your Honor, to clean up after yourself.
You didn't clean up after yourself?
I did my best. I did a pretty good job.
You did not clean up after yourself. What was another thing?
Also, you were responsible of purchasing your own food.
Did you purchase your own food?
For the most part.
You didn't do it the way that she wanted it done, because if you said, for the most part, that means there were some aspects that you weren't paying and you were just eating the food. Were you paying rent?
No.
No. Why didn't you charge him rent?
I didn't charge him rent, Your Honor, because I felt like here was a young man who was an item with my daughter. They seemed to get along so well and just had so much potential. And
did you know that the parents were like, you can't come back to this house?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Did you feel as though that was a little harsh?
I did feel that was a little rough.
And then you experienced it firsthand?
Yes, sir.
And you were like, oh, now I know.
That's correct,
and understand what was going on here.
Correct.
How many occasions did you have to share with Mr. Harvey that this is no bueno, this is not working for me?
I think I didn't really say this wasn't working because, for the first few weeks, although it was really annoying to have him there from the beginning.
You just had the one child?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And it was just the two of you there?
Correct.
Okay. What size? What kind of house, apartment? What?
I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And so did he live in a separate room, or did you allow
Correct.
the two of them to be in the same room?
Correct, a separate room, because that was also one of my rules. I had to think it over, and I didn't want the kids to get into anything silly like having a baby, so.
Well, come on. I mean, if he's living there and you're not there all the time,
right.
you know how that works out.
Of course, but I trusted the two, and it, it wasn't that I didn't trust them. I just had pet peeves that I wanted followed, like, my number one is don't touch my thermostat. It gets really hot. The electric bill goes through the roof. Just do our best. We do our best to save. I work hard.
Coming up on America's Court.
Anytime you use utilities, the bills are going to fluctuate based on the usage.
I would turn it off and on, though.
And later.
Now, you have here, your last name is Life, and your first name is Ma, as in my life.
Yes.
Now, that is not what your parents named you at birth.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. America's Court is back with the case of Henrietta Coles, who is suing Daniel Harvey for $901.23.
Did she tell you, don't touch the thermostat?
She didn't mention that, yeah.
Did you touch the thermostat?
I did.
She told you, do not touch the thermostat.
Correct.
You said, I'm going to do it anyway. Why
Correct.
would you do that at a place that's not charging you for rent?
Because in Texas, it gets so extremely hot, like sweltering hot, and I'd be around the house just pouring
Exactly
sweat.
that. We all hot.
Right. Don't touch
The thermostat, yes.
The thermostat.
But she'd be away at work during the day, and I'd be there. I work at nighttime, so she's missing like the majority of it. And I feel like she just didn't realize. Like it's like I'd be walking around just
she realized
pouring
it,
sweat.
which is why she said to you, don't
Touch the thermostat, yeah.
touch the
She did
thermostat.
say that. I didn't think that it would really, like, she would notice because she wasn't there. I didn't know it was gonna like inflate the bill or anything like that.
Well, anytime you use utilities, the bills are going to fluctuate based on the usage.
I would turn it off and on though. So it wouldn't be like the entire duration of the day. It would be like, all right, this is unbearable now. I'm gonna do it for a little bit, and then I'll turn it off. And then
Well,
off and
she
on.
told you this was causing her bills to skyrocket, right? Because it is hot in Texas. And how much above were the bills?
Yes, Your Honor. So I did some comparing through the summer from the previous year to this year.
Just as hot the last summer as it was?
Correct. Yes, sir. And my bills, all 3 months that he was with us, doubled.
And you're saying he should have to pay that.
Absolutely.
And ultimately, did you kick him out and that's when he went back to the parents? Did he say, I'm leaving? Did you say you have to pay me some money if you're going to stay?
I ended up asking him to leave, Your Honor, because when we approached the end of August, I didn't want another month to begin, and then he's still there and we're still having to have that conversation. So 3 months was enough. I had it, and I asked him to leave.
All right. And what was Khadijah's position?
She was kind of like a mediator between us. It was frustrating. I mean, while she wanted her relationship with Daniel, it was just too much on our relationship as mother and daughter, especially still living with each other. It's not like, she was on her own and had her own place.
I get it. And the bottom line is, did you and Khadijah continue in the relationship?
No, I was done with that.
And were you done with that because of the living circumstances with the mom?
It was a combination. It was just so stressful being there with the all the conditions and stuff.
Okay.
That I had to abide by. And then I hear about it too. They'd, constantly be upset with this or that or this or that.
So it was a good thing that you left.
I think so.
Okay. And now the issue is these bills. Do you have proof of the $901?
Yes, I do.
These bills that you're supposed to pay, why don't you feel as though you are responsible, sir? Mr. Harvey, why don't you feel that you're responsible?
Also, I would like to mention that I fixed her brake pads. She went to her brake pads were acting up, and
On her vehicle?
Yes.
Did he fix your brake pads?
Yes, sir.
All right. So that was money that you had saved had you gone somewhere else.
In a sense, for labor I saved. I still got the parts, so.
Okay. But for labor, you would have saved some money there.
Yes, sir.
All right. Was there anything else you feel should be offset with the requests?
I also gave them, I worked at the grocery store, I picked up that job, and I got 10% off of like groceries and stuff like that. So they used that, I let them use that as well.
And you think that covers the $900?
It adds up, yeah.
Does it cover the $900?
Just about, I think.
Well, where did you fall short?
Close.
$1, $10, $100?
Maybe 100.
Maybe 100. You feel as though at a minimum you should only have to pay about $800.
Correct.
All right. You'd be willing to pay $800?
I'd be willing to pay $100?
Yes.
No, not really.
Well, what do you think you should pay?
Nothing, really.
Got it. Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, the guy was going to come down in favor of the defendant. He's right. There's no obligation to pay because everything you provided for him, you gave him willingly. You didn't ask for any money. You said, come in my home, just don't break these rules. He broke the rules, you kicked him out, and then said, but now you need to pay me. But you never established that he needed to pay you to begin with. So there's no agreement, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your matter's dismissed. Case closed.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been dismissed.
I think you made the right decision. I completely agree with that.
It is what it is. Good luck in your endeavors, Daniel.
Coming up on America's Court with Judge Ross.
So I was placed behind a gentleman in my first class.
Yes.
Throughout the entirety of the class, he was passing gas.
Closed captioning provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Rachel Harris claims a fellow student's stinky flatulence made her yoga class unbearable and says the teacher refused to refund her money. Ms. Harris is suing Ma Life in the amount of $400.
I had to smile when I read this case because it's a little foul, pun intended.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
So Yoga Master My Life here, he promised me an enjoyable experience when coming to his studio.
Yes.
I took a few classes.
Had you ever done yoga before?
I've done yoga, but not hot yoga.
And what's the difference in your mind?
The temperature in the room is exceedingly warm.
Now, you have here, your last name is Life, and your first name is Ma, as in my life.
Yes.
Now, that is not what your parents named you at birth. Is it?
Yes, I had it legally changed to
You
that name.
did?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Life, Mr. My Life, my life, my life in the sunshine. All right, so you offered her for a certain fee, so many classes.
Yes, I was running a New Year's special.
A New Year's special.
$400 for 20 classes. I like to offer a very special and unique environment, so I keep it reduced to only 6 clients at a time.
The issue that Ms. Harris raised with you had not been raised before by anyone else in this?
No, I've actually never had a complaint of this nature before.
All right, let's talk about what you were complaining about.
So I was placed behind a gentleman in my first class.
Yes.
Throughout the entirety of the class, he was passing gas.
Coming up on America's Court.
If the person is in front of her and the gas is emanating from the buttocks,
This is America's Court with Judge Ross. America's Court is back with the case of Rachel Harris, who is suing Ma Life for nuisance.
Okay, well, if there's 6 people plus you, 7, you didn't smell it?
I believe if the stench was so unbearable that we would have received other complaints.
If the person is in front of her and the gas is emanating from the buttocks, you're going to be receiving much more of that odor versus someone who's on the side or a little over,
Yes.
for whatever reason.
I did give Ms. Harris the option to
Was
change
she in
positions.
fact behind someone that had that had an issue with fumes coming out of their body?
Well, again, this issue was not brought up by anyone else but her. But
No, I'm
according
saying
to
that
her,
once
yes.
she brought it up to you, because
Yes.
how many sessions did you do?
I did 3 in total.
Okay, the first time you did it, was there an issue of odor?
Yes, that was the time when he was in front of me.
Did you talk to Mr. Life about that?
I did.
What did you say?
So we had assigned spaces for whatever reason. So I asked him after class if I could have a different space the next time in class. And
Do you
he
recall
did.
that?
Yes, I did give her the option to change her spaces, and she did.
That was the first day.
Correct.
You came back the second time.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Second time, I was placed in front of the gentleman himself, the one that was behind me originally. And it was still the same thing. The smell was basically filling up the entirety of the just space itself.
And did you then complain again to Mr. Life?
Correct.
What did you say?
I said that the smell is still here and that I would give it one more chance. And that's when I came back the
Did
third time.
she say that?
She did not say she would give it one more chance.
Judge Ross's verdict when America's Court returns. This is America's Court with Judge Ross.
You think she should eat $340?
Yes, I do, Your Honor, because at this point in the course, it would have been impossible to replace her.
Ms. Harris, did it ever dawn on you to say, well, let me see if anybody else had any issues? Was it just me?
I figured just presenting it to Mr. Malife and him being in the exact same room, that he would just understand. I didn't think I needed to ask everybody.
Well, but you said after the first time, you came back and it was still the same issue, and you came back a third time and it was still the same issue. So those 3 times, and no one else is complaining, based on the evidence and the testimony before this court, it's going to have to come down in favor of the defendant. Because when I talk about the average person, well, the average person was the other 6 people in the room. And if I'm looking at that and I don't have any testimony, I don't have any evidence that they had issues with this odor, then you can't sustain your burden because I don't have anything else other than you saying I just didn't like what it smelled like. Your matter's dismissed. That is the order. Case closed.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been dismissed.
Enjoy your smelly studio.
It's unfortunate that you had an unpleasant experience in my studio. I wish you the best of luck with your yoga journey in the future.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.